back. Take a new tab. In the new tab, you open the email.
Lina.
Yeah, come on. And Lakshmi Venkatachalam has also said that.
Not new, something what we have sent them. Okay.
Lakshmi Venkatachalam also comes.
Eh?
Lakshmi Venkatachalam. Lakshmi.
I can't hear.
Sri Lakshmi Venkatachalam has also sent Swamiji.
The new one.
New one.
First you will try to go to the new one. This Vidya Vinyasam Pranya also we have covered. Okay. Okay, we will put it later and then bring back. Okay. So now today, we go back. First we thought, we will try to understand Papa's words on Gita. Secret of the Gita is by Beloved Papa. Gita was preached by Bhagavan Sri Krishna to Arjuna at a most crucial and critical moment in Arjuna's life. His mind was confused with misgivings and heart surcharged with deep sorrow. This fact makes clear to us that we can understand the right value of Gita's message only when we are similarly situated mentally and emotionally as Arjuna was. Now we know why we have not been able to go deeper into Bhagavad Gita. Because this first para of Papa's article, Gita was preached by Bhagavan Sri Krishna to Arjuna at a most crucial and critical moment in Arjuna's life. His mind was confused with misgivings, heart surcharged with deep sorrow. This fact makes clear to us that we can understand the right value of Gita's message only when we are similarly situated, mentally and emotionally, as Arjuna was. There is a time in every man's life when the problems of life and death, after existence and God, confront him. Problems of life and death, after existence and God, confront him, demanding his immediate and closest attention. He cannot shelve them, for they beat insistently on the portals of his mind. He knows that everything to which he was attached and which he so long held as his own, by giving it a gloss of rivalry, is after all slipping away from his hands, that he is caught in a world of shadows to which he has been clinging with an insensate folly. His mind tries to go beyond itself, and his heart longs for that which is beyond. But the barrier that shuts him from the vision of the reality baffles him, hence the confusion and deep sorrow. Sri Krishna comes to the rescue of such a soul in the grip of a keen, painful struggle. There is a time in every man's life when the problems of life and death, after existence and God, confront him, demanding his immediate and closest attention. He cannot shelve them, for they beat insistently on the portals of his mind. He knows then that everything to which he was attached, and which he so long held as his own, by giving it a gloss of reality, is after all slipping away from his hands, that he is caught in a world of shadows to which he has been clinging with an insensate folly. His mind tries to go beyond itself. His heart longs for that which is beyond, but the barrier that shuts him from the vision of the reality baffles him. Hence the confusion and deep sorrow. Sri Krishna comes to the rescue of such a soul in the grip of a keen, painful struggle. He enunciates a threefold discipline by which the aspirant can break through the barrier and attain the supreme reality, which would mean for him perfect liberation and peace. The threefold discipline is of bhakti, jnana, and karma. Bhakti is an intense longing and love for God, which enables the aspirant to keep up a constant remembrance of Him, thus purifying his emotions and elevating his thought to the consciousness of the reality. Bhakti is the adoration of God, who dwells in his own heart and fills the universe, and surrender of all his actions to him. Here a fit of renunciation seizes him, a mental recoil from the unrealities of life that had so long enthralled him. Through the exercise of an awakened intellect, he now begins to discriminate the real from the unreal, the eternal from the non-eternal. Bhakti, renunciation and discrimination turn his mind inward, which now flows in a continuous stream to the glorious truth of his being, until he merges in and identifies himself with the immortal, unchanging, all-pervading essence of his existence. This is the divine illumination or jnana, which grants him a universal vision, a perception of God as an indwelling spirit, permeating and filling all the manifested world. Karma continues based upon an equal vision, with a heart replete with love and a mind enlightened with wisdom. Karma now becomes a spontaneous outflow of divine energy, acting through him for the uplift of the humanity or Lokasangraha. The aspirant, having realized the Supreme Godhead, is still an instrument in his hands, doing actions in utter self-dedication. That is, God's divine Shakti working through him for the fulfillment of his purpose. His attachment to the perishable external objects of the world is destroyed. He rises above the Dandvas and Gunas belonging to the lower and ignorant human nature. He is now ever in union with the God in himself and in all creatures and things around him. He beholds the entire universe as the expression of the immutable, invisible, omnipresent God. God for him is both immanent and transcendent, in whom he becomes conscious that he is entirely lost, having attained perfect freedom, peace and bliss. This is the goal of life laid out by the Gita. We'll go through the second article also, then come back. Clarion voice of the Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is a veritable mosaic of eternal wisdom. It has not left unsolved a single problem pertaining to the conduct of human life, both in its spiritual and physical spheres. For the highest truths of philosophy, and also for a perfect light on the practical side of life, one is to go to this great work. The message of the entire Gita is to reveal the harmony and identity of the soul with God and of God with nature. It must be within the experience of every student of the Gita that the majority of the commentators on this great scripture have drawn out such truths from it as would coincide with their own views and predictions, and have presented them to the world as the whole secret of this many-sided and all-comprehensive mine of wisdom. Some read into the Gita with emphatic call to renounce all actions in the world as the ultimate goal. Some others argue that the Gita holds devotion to a personal God as the essential creed of it. Some would have it that the Gita urges the soul to plunge into action, making that alone the sole criterion and the one necessary condition of human existence. Again, some others, taking the Mahabharata war, including the Gita, as only an allegorical exposition of the eternal truths, interpret the teachings from their viewpoint as embodying an uncompromising cult of ahimsa. Each one of these expounders of the Gita is right from the angle of vision by which he has struggled to understand the scripture. But the whole truth enshrined in the 18 chapters is all that they have said, put together much more besides. For an all-round, authoritative, conclusive, comprehensive treatise on the Gita, among the commentaries of the present day, one has to turn to the illuminating, inspiring volumes of the essays of the Gita by Sri Aurobindo. To understand life and realize its glory integrally, one has to study the Gita in all its phases and from all standpoints. To have a partial view of a particular aspect of it alone and to hold forth that as the whole truth has been the cause of imperfection in spiritual experience. The purpose of the Gita is to proclaim that human life is essentially divine, spiritually, mentally, physically. Its one aim is to prove that spirit and matter are one and the same. Activity in the world, whatever form it might take, as circumstances and conditions demand, is not a thing to be shunned or renounced. What is needed is to divinize life through the attainment of freedom from the individual sense by the emergence of it into God, who is at once the soul, the universe, and the all-transcendent, all-inclusive truth. The soul, whose life is thus liberated, the Gita says, is utterly divine in all his moments, significant as well as insignificant. Now action for him is but a natural and spontaneous flow of divine energy acting through him. As God's supreme will determines, this energy works through him equally to create, to preserve, and to destroy. Since this illumined personality intuitively bases his actions on the vision of the universal reality and performs them in a state entirely bereft of the individual sense, they do not affect him for good or evil. So long as the soul misses his acme of attainment, he flounders on the morass of conflicting dualities, good and evil, virtue and sin, himsa and ahimsa, pleasure and pain. The divine Shakti works in the universe both for constructive and destructive purposes. Only when the supreme power acts in man through his lower nature, it is vitiated with greed, lust and selfishness. In this state, in whatever manner he acts, his works are tainted for personal aggrandizement such as for wealth, power and glory, he would launch into any kind of action, irrespective of its nature, as ahimsa or himsa. Whereas the same Shakti, when she acts in a man, freed entirely from every egoistic impulse or ambition, does so for the uplift and protection of the oppressed and innocent humanity. Here Shakti may work through the purified medium or vehicle, creatively or destructively. Creation and destruction are concomitant movements. We can never separate them. Every new creation has at its base the destruction of the old. This is the law of nature, universally applicable. We cannot palliate, shirk, or ignore this law of God, controlling all the activities of nature, including those of human beings. It is ever there, facing us at every time. The saving grace for man in the field of action lies only in his acting as an instrument of the divine, in a state of utter freedom from the touch and recoil of action. Here, what is essential is complete dedication of all life's actions to the will and power of the Almighty, dwelling in the hearts of all beings, creatures, things, else. If we move only in a vicious circle of harassing Dandvas and attempt to cling to one of them for attainment of for true wisdom and peace, we can never reach this goal. Doubts and fears will ever rise in the mind of such a man, and he will become a scared creature, always a prey to impatience, suspicion, and despair. Therefore, the command of Sri Krishna is rise beyond the dualities, rise beyond the dharmas and gunas, rise beyond all conditioned states of existence, conceived of and set up as standards by the fettered mind and intellect, and be one with me, the all transcendent reality, and then act in life as my instrument, as my vibhuti, myself revealed in and as your form and body. This is the deliverance that I offer you. That is the supreme blessedness in which I grant you the bliss of immortality. Spontaneity of life, born of an egoless purity and innocence, and a consciousness of immortal freedom and a condition of perfect divine ecstasy and peace, is the one supreme note and refrain of the voice that rings through the Gita. So here, this particular word of Lord Krishna, he says, rise beyond the dualities, rise beyond the dharmas or the gunas, rise beyond all conditioned states of existence, conceived of and set up as standards by the fettered mind and intellect, and be one with me, the all transcendent reality, and then act in life as my instrument, as my vibhuti, myself revealed in and as your form and body. This is the deliverance that I offer you. This is the supreme blessedness in which I grant you the bliss of immortality. So we take it that it is for this purpose that he made us to take up Gita study now. Condition, beyond all conditioned state of existence. That is why the word refinery came. He says, conditioned, rise beyond the conditions, rise beyond the dualities, rise beyond the dharmas and the gunas, rise beyond all conditioned states of existence, conceived of and set up as standards by the fettered mind and intellect. So that is why he is insisting that a refined mind, a pakka mind, alone can become aware of this fundamental truth. What is the fundamental truth? Act in my life as my instrument, as my vibhuti. Myself revealed in you and in and as your form and body. This is the deliverance that I offer you. This is the supreme blessedness in which I grant you the bliss of immortality. What happened?
Swamiji, click escape.
Huh?
Click escape.
No use. Stop sharing. Okay. Then again I will go back. Now tell us, you have heard something now. Very powerful. Anybody would like to say anything? It may be difficult for you to remember, but still try. Therefore, the command of Sri Krishna is rise beyond the dualities, rise beyond the dharmas of the gunas, rise beyond all conditioned states of existence, conceived of and set up as standard by the fettered mind and intellect, and be one with me. And then act in life as my instrument, as my vibhuti, myself revealed in and as your form and body. This is the deliverance that I offer you. This is the supreme blessedness in which I grant you the bliss of immortality. So in our heart, we take it that by asking us to go through this, we should not forget the truth. That he is prompting us to work on this. So that we are all on a knowingly or unknowingly, we are all on the path of handing ourselves over to him. At least for some moments in a day, we get this thought. Then we forget. We are confining ourselves to the individuality. But somehow, through Ramnam, through association, through Satsang, through Swadhyay, all of us have this in our heart. That a day should come when I should be able to do it. I don't know how, but I must. So that is there. So now we will try, we will try how to fan this, how to keep it aflame. Rise beyond dualities, rise beyond the dharmas and gunas, rise beyond all conditioned states of existence, conceived of and set up as standards by the fettered mind and intellect, and be one with me, and then act in life as my instrument, as my vibhuti, myself revealed in and as your form and body. This is the deliverance that I offer you. This is the supreme blessedness in which I grant you the bliss of immortality. Nobody is telling anything. He says it's concomitant. No. Why? Today morning we went through that. We thought we would correct it somehow. I don't get it now. Creation destructions are concomitant movements. We can never separate them. Every new creation has at its basis the destruction of the old. This is the law of nature universally applicable. We cannot palliate, shirk or ignore this law of God, controlling all activities of the nature, including those of human beings. It is ever there, facing us at every stir. The saving grace of man, the field of action, lies only in his acting as an instrument of the divine. In a state of utter freedom from the touch and recoil of action, here what is essential is complete dedication of all his actions to the will and power of the Almighty, dwelling in the hearts of our beings, creatures and things. Else, if we move only in the vicious circle of harassing dandvas, pairs of opposites, and attempt to cling to one of them for attainment of true freedom, we can never reach the goal. Doubts and fears will ever rise in the mind of such a man, and he will become a scared creature, always a prey to impatience, suspicion, despair. So we have to approach Bhagavad Gita with this, For that some refining is necessary. The mind should try to find out what a few slogas mean to me. Yeah, that way we can approach. And we wanted to the points again. Yesterday we said we will again read. Evaluate first before plunging into action. Wrong thinking is the only problem in life. Be mindful of the assumed personality's influence in speech and action. Assumed personality. Our original nature is something different. Right knowledge is the ultimate solution to all our problems. Stay even-minded in all situations. Remaining untouched by outer influences. Selflessness is the only way to progress and prosperity. Be free from the sense of ownership. Remain unaffected by attraction and aversion. Engage fully in actions while staying detached. Recognizing the true source of all things lead to surrender. Every act can be an act of prayer. Renounce the ego of individuality and rejoice in the bliss of infinity. Act as an offering to Him, free from attachment. Actions exclusively for freeing from me and mine. Treat your mind as your close friend. Connect to the higher consciousness daily. Maintain moderation in activity, food and rest. Recognizing core of our being leads to humbleness. Recognize the One as the source of all sources, source of all creations. Live what you learn. Remember Him in life's final moment, knowing death is inevitable. Constancy is a must for success. Never give up on yourself. Everything exists in Him, yet He transcends all. Value the blessings poured on you. Feeling is more important than the action itself. Grace removes ignorance through knowledge. See divinity all around. The magnitude of the infinite is evident even in the minutest. Be aware of the limitation of the puny intellect. Recognize its manifestation in life's expression. Have enough surrender to see the truth as it is. Not in one or two. Life a payback. Realize the absolute in the unseen, not in the seen. Absorb your mind in the higher. Detach from Maya, attached to the divine. Identify the base while seeing the projections. Distinguish between the body and the knower of the body. Realize how the three gunas bind the spirit to the body. Live a lifestyle that matches your vision. Cultivate awareness of nature's variation to transcend them. Give priority to divinity. Recognize the guiding force behind resilience and recovery. Reflect on the perishable, the imperishable, the transcendent. Being good is a reward in itself. Focus on uplifting forces and guard against those who pull us down. Be watchful lest temptations ignite our weaknesses. Faith must give way for trust. Cultivate inner silence for discipline. Choosing the right over the pleasant is a sign of power. Always connect with the power behind the matter. Surrender dissolves the ego and realizing oneness with Him. Let go, let us move to union with God. more are there. Another 18 is also coming now. Again we try, What does it mean? What does it mean to us? What does it mean to us? We are only spending 1 hour in a day. So naturally it will not get stamped or registered in our mind. That too afternoon. So some extra effort is necessary. Now we are getting, at least the slogas we don't know, grammar we don't know, the language we don't know. But now at least we know that as many as 70 slogas have now come before us and enabling us to view it from our angle. It may not be perfect. It may not be 100% perfect. Because our mind has not become so pure. When it has become so pure, we can say yes. Still there is a feeling that we are trying to unearth something, So the spontaneity has not come. So it is subject to correction, refining, modifying. But yes, put us on the process. So when we read this, 1 or 2 will be somebody has now today said, stay even-minded in our situation. Evaluate first before plunging into action. That's a gain. Something is going inside. Let it be there. We may be continuing our usual work. But every now and then we try to remember it. Through examples. So I request again everybody, please try to give 1 sloga a month, a week, or 15 days. Don't worry about whether it is coming out well or not. You pick some slogas, you read, you try to understand the way in which God prompts you from within. You try for an example. If you don't get that, you can say, I don't get it, and send it. So we will try through your selection. What is he trying to convey? Now everything comes from one source, Instead of that, it will come from different sources. But the format, as far as possible, we will try to keep it up. Because during this pursuit, you will find this Papa, what we read, what Lord Krishna wants us, all of us to do. To know that He is working out His will through me. Though all these things are done by Him, still we feel we are doing it, So at least toward that be one step. If our mind says we have taken one step, that whatever I think, talk and do, it is being ordained by Him to work out His will through me. That's my vibhuti, isn't it? All these things we need not learn by heart, but 1 or 2 or 3, it is easy to think about it. 700 slogas we may not be able to. 70 slogas we may not be able to. 3 slokas from this, definitely will be able to. Each one according to his taste, temperament and aptitude, selects. As he has given his, 700 slokas. In our case, he has now made us to around about 70. Probably in the next 1 week we may be able to cross this 70. It is very interesting. Very, very interesting. And when we go out and when we meet with people, something of it will always be there in our mind. The doership, though it asserts, somewhere in the corner we also try to hear the whisper. He is making us to do. Think. Can you choose any one from this? Go through it slowly. You are seeing it now? Are you seeing?
Yes.
Swamiji, we are only seeing the article of Papa. We are not seeing the points.
Oh, sorry. Okay. You should have told me, something is wrong here. So I have to replace, this stop sharing. And then Papa, this is there is something wrong. Why this is not coming?
Swamiji, if you send it to me by email, I will share it from here.
Okay. The thing is going now.
Swamiji, you're muted, Swamiji.
I cannot send it.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow we'll see that.
Okay, Swamiji.
So now we'll go back.
Yes,
You'll have to, but it is there, It is coming there. I don't know why you are not coming.
Not visible to us.
Why? Here when you see,
No, it's still not visible, Swamiji.
say this, it doesn't come there.
No.
The only way is I can read, that's all.
Swamiji, we will listen, Swamiji.
Huh?
We will listen while you read, Swamiji.
Evaluate first before you select. I will repeat 10. You see whether you any point which you get attracted.
Yes, Swamiji.
Evaluate first before plunging into action. Wrong thinking is the only problem in life. Be mindful of the assumed personality's influence in speech and action. Right knowledge is the ultimate solution to all other problems. Stay even-minded in all situations, remaining untouched by outer influences. Selflessness is the only way to progress. So be free from the sense of ownership. Remain unaffected by attraction and aversion. Engage fully in action while staying detached. Recognizing the true source of all things is to surrender. Anything.
Remaining untouched by outer influences.
Remain untouched by outside influences. Yes? Anything else from anybody?
Wrong thinking is the only problem in our life, Swamiji.
Wrong thinking is
I
the only
like the first one, Swamiji.
Good. Yeah, then.
Swamiji. The first one I like to mind of. Even Duryodhan was even doing that, what he is doing. But he said that he could not even stop himself.
Out of this 10, can you remember anything out of this 10?
Please
Say.
continue the points from the 10 he just narrated.
I like the first one, Swamiji. The first one in which we have to evaluate before we take any action.
Correct. Before plunging into any action, evaluate first. Yeah, it's a beautiful point. If we are in a position to maintain that, it will help us a lot.
Yes, Swamiji.
Suppose I am in a bad mood and you come. So, no use of now telling to Muktananda he is in a bad, so we will keep quiet. No, there won't be any problem.
Yes.
So every time you just imagine our relationship with others, it will not get hampered if we remember this, evaluate first before plunging into action. Anything. Very good. That's one of the greatest treasures we have. Then anything else? Somebody said, remaining untouched by outer influences. Because others may say, behave, talk, which should not affect me. God will set it should be expressed in that form, and God will, He puts me on a test whether I can remain unaffected, untouched by it. So then that's also very, very helpful in our family life, professional life, social life. Then anything else?
Swamiji, stay even-minded in all situations.
Stay even-minded in all situations. That's also a wonderful point. Wonderful point. Then many confusions will not be there.
Yes.
Then, good. Anything more?
Swamiji,
Ah.
engage fully in actions while staying detached.
Engage fully in action while staying detached. Ah. Engage fully in action while staying detached. We are doing it, that's all. Everything, whether we are cooking, whether we are cleaning the household, whether we are attending to a patient, whether we are attending to a particular job, anything that we do, engage fully in action. At the same time, I've been prompted to do, I do, that's all. Beyond that, there is nothing. That will help us a lot. Very good, very good.
Looking for the source.
Looking for the source.
Huh?
Looking for the source.
Brings
Looking for the source brings humility.
Looking?
Looking for the source. I think being aware of the source brings humility.
Recognizing the true source of all things leads to surrender. Okay, okay. Okay, okay.
Something you repeat so you can write it down.
yes.
Something you repeat that point again so she can write it down.
Eh?
Can you repeat that point again so she can write it down?
Whatever everybody has said, you can write it down.
No. Sabina would like to write down what you just repeated just now. Looking for the source leads to surrender.
There are two things on source. One is recognizing the true source of all things leads to surrender. Another one is the 7th chapter. Recognize the one as the source of all creation.
One as the source of all creation.
Recognize the one as the source of all creation. Bijam mam sarva bhutana.
And the second one is recognizing the source leads to surrender. That's your point.
So today we can say evaluate first before plunging into action. Wrongful thinking is the only problem of life. Stay even-minded in all situations. Remaining untouched by outer influences. These are the things that came up, plus the source. Anything else?
When we say source, we can.
Tomorrow we will try to exhibit this, and so that you can keep on going through, and then select what attracts your attention. And from 8th onwards, we don't know whether we will be able to have this because we are going to have a small, Satsang. A group of 30-35 people are coming from Chennai and Madurai. So right from morning till evening, 3 hours in the morning and 1.5 hours in the evening, and later on Brahmana. So many things, and one day there will be Maun. So it will go on for 4 days. So we are not sure whether we will be able to have this, but we will try. Because the 3:30 to 4:30 the evening sessions are there. So there, what they ask, we will be able to answer. One day it is also set apart for IQG, in quest of God. We are just stressed to serenity, just reviving it. All of us might have forgotten. So probably that might be useful to all. And Bhagavad Gita also comes on one day. So we will see whether it's possible. So tomorrow is
26th.
26th. 27th also we can have. 28th only they are coming.
28th also we can log in something. Whatever you're sharing with others, we will just listen. 28th, we will log in, and whatever you're sharing, we will just listen.
Okay. Let us see when they come here, we'll have them. They have given us some programs. But on every day between 3:30 to 4:30, I don't know. Anyway, and because it will be an interactive session.
And it might be in Tamil. Okay.
That we can, English also can be introduced. Let us see. Mostly it might be 50-50 Tamil and
Oh.
let us see. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow we will try to go through these combined points and see how our mind remembers something. Okay?
Yes, Swamiji.
Okay. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram,